What's up, Fox Fox here, and my triumphant return is a mediocre video about the i7 6700HQ and GTX 960M in 2024. Now, the reason I call this video mediocre is because there's not many games benchmarked. I was able to get some, we got about 4, plus some crash screens, but if you want a more in-depth analysis of either of the graphics cards or the CPUs, there are probably videos out there that do a better job, but this is a nice, concise way to check if you want to play some older games, newer games, see what it's like. But this laptop has given me so many issues. As you can see, it's broken, but temps were fine, so I decided to give it a shot. The i7 6700HQ is a 4-core, 8-threaded processor with a max boost frequency of 3.5 GHz. It launched in Q3 of 2015, right alongside the GTX 9M series of graphics cards for the laptop. It does have integrated graphics, but that's not what we're talking about today. Because the graphics card we're looking at has a whopping 640 CUDA cores, with a base clock of 1096 MHz, a memory clock of 2500 MHz, it's got 4 GB of GDDR5. So let's see how this does. Up first was Call of Duty Modern Warfare, which ran with an average frame rate of crashing at start, which shows my experience with this laptop the entire time. So modern games are a no-go for this, except for esports titles. But if you're looking at AAA gaming for 2024 games, you're going to have some issues. Like Counter-Strike 2 at 720p with the lowest settings, we actually saw an average frame rate of 60 frames per second, or around that. I didn't have MSI Afterburner working, but it dipped down into the 30s and sometimes hit 80. So it's actually not very playable, even though we got the 60 FPS average because of the dips down to the 30s. This game needs over 100 FPS to be stable, so I would have a hard time recommending playing this game. I'm sure CSGO ran fine, but unfortunately CS2 did not. However, I'm sure Valorant and Overwatch 2 would run fine on this machine. Now, we can play some modern games like Scare Ritual, a game that I've been absolutely loving, at 720p with the lowest settings, with desired FPS set to 60, which I did turn off frame gen, so I don't know if that actually impacted anything or not. We saw an average frame rate of 48 frames per second, a 1% low of 12, and a 0.1% low of 2. So if you're looking to play a game like Scare Ritual, you can just about do it, but expect a lot of jitter. The game that everybody is talking about right now, Fallout 4 at 720p with the lowest settings. This was pre-patched, but it shouldn't change too much to post-patch for PC. The average frame rate was 53 FPS with a 1% low of 27 and a 0.1% low of 10. So there was jitter, but it wasn't nearly as bad as some other games. And this is kind of where the AAA titles and everything like that should be playable, because that's about when this GPU and CPU combo came out in 2015. So if you're looking for games of that era, like the previous gen consoles, then you're going to have no issues playing games like that on this combination, but I just have a hard time recommending a laptop like this. And last but not least, Lethal Company at 1080p, I guess. I don't know. There's no resolution scale on this. Ran with an average frame rate of 45 FPS, a 1% low of 7, and a 0.1% low of 3. So there was jitter, but it wasn't bad, and you could easily play this game on this laptop. So like I said, you can run games from the era perfectly fine. If you're looking for AAA titles from 2015 or older, then you're going to have no issues whatsoever. But if you're looking to play anything recently modern, the CPU and GPU both suck. So you're going to have a hard time playing games on this laptop, and I hated it. Not to mention the slow as heck hard drive that is stuck in this machine that for some reason, even though I tried to put an SSD in it, it didn't work. This laptop has given me so many issues, and I have a hard time recommending it with an unbiased perspective because of the fact that this laptop in particular sucks. But with that said, I still think the components of this aren't good enough. I think for people who are interested in low-end sort of laptop gaming and they want to have a laptop that can play games but isn't the main focus, MX350 is really good. GTX 1060 laptops from a few years ago is probably where I would consider the gaming laptops to actually start to grow in popularity and grow in momentum. Or Ryzen APU graphics are also really good as well. So I don't think there's really a place for a laptop like this, or honestly even older gaming laptops when you can buy APUs that do the same thing. But with that said, I hope you enjoyed watching this video anyway. If you liked it, like, subscribe, do what you're usually doing as always. Buy yourself something nice.